GM.
Good morning, people.
Morning.
Hello, pirates. How's it going?
Good. How's it going?
Very good, man. I love to see you with that new profile picture. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I haven't been like looking for my fall punk for a long time.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get into it this episode, but don't you guys also have the same thing that whenever someone, changes their profile picture after having one for such a long time, it's like hard to recognize them on Twitter?
Oh my gosh, yeah, for sure. He did a little tweak. I'm noticing slightly different background colors back to the OG blue.
What? Repeat that. I didn't quite catch it.
I said you got rid of your purple or red background, yeah? Back to the OG blue.
Mine. Well, for the hexagon, you can only do this OG blue. So yeah, indeed.
Makes sense. I'm charging my other cell phone so I can join as a speaker from Valco, but for now I'll just be chatting from the Punks Roundtable account.
Nice.
Pirate, so nice to have you. Love your punk. It's like so clean. I love that. It's like one Addy, or is there anything else? No, it's just the eye patch, yeah?
Yeah. Just one attribute. I love it. Simple. Very simple.
The funny story is that in real life, I look way more like your punk than my punk. So I'm bald. I don't have hair.
Oh, actually,
So something like that. I still have both eyes though, so I'm not like fully pirate.
yeah, cool. I love pirate. So when I found like this one's for sale, and because I list one attribute part, like actually, two of them are not sale. Only this one is for sale, and after I see that, I think it's a ton OKC. Like he bought it from someone else from the price is 65 ETH, and he listed for 69, and I bought it immediately and changed my PvP to punk.
Yeah, and 69 is like such an iconic price as well.
Everybody like 69 and it's for 420.
Yeah, guys. So at the top, I pinned the space. So if you guys can give that a retweet to get more people join the space, and I see Kat and I see DC that joined as well. If you can do the same, and then let's just maybe chit chat for a couple of minutes, and then wait till people trickle in. I'd say.
Yeah. This is very active in Vandal. Like, he's one of the mod. Yeah.
Pirate, where are you tuning in from? Is it Asia or where?
Oh, it's very late, miss. I am in Australia. Right now it's 1 a.m.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I guess we're like extra honored that you could like make it at this time. Like, Valka and I were trying to aim for like more American time zones, so it's complicated to catch like Asian and Australian people. But yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll get to a spot where we do like AM and PM spaces
Yeah.
AM Eastern, PM Eastern. But right now, just trying to capitalize on there's so many punks in like LA and so many punks in New York that we wanted to kind of maximize those audiences. I think the next biggest city for punks is probably London. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
what do
must
you
be
think,
London.
Cyberpunk? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like because the art is so popular in like New York, London, they're both the center of the world art center.
No, but that's cool. We're on 3 different continents then. It's quite crazy if you think of it.
hmm How are your for our punk like website going right now?
Yeah, just doing fine. I mean, I've been on vacation last week, but now back to the so-called office. It's not easy. Like I have to say, it's not easy. We're struggling a bit with liquidity, but yeah, maybe that's a couple of questions I'll have for you later on in the space today. But yeah, we started developing a new feature, which is notifications for filters. So suppose you set a filter, I don't know, for your pirate punk. And whenever something gets listed within that specific filter, you get a notification. Or if there is a price drop within that filter, you get also a notification. So that's something we'll be like rolling out soon as well.
Cool. I would like when you guys okay, I can share something like why I switch from apes to punks and what I'm thinking about the MT and the PUPs. I think it's quite quite interesting generally. Like apes bring me to like Web3 and I know a lot of people. But after this bear market, I see a lot of loyalty things and see a lot of you guys things and watch the blur things. And I finally figure out in PvP area, if you want a more diamond hand, I think punk is the best way to run it. So actually, I think I make my choice, follow my heart, and go to punk in the end.
Nice, interesting to hear. But you're still holding your ape, correct?
Yeah, it is still holding, but I would like to make punk as my follower PvP because like uh it's quite different culture. It's different for understanding for PvP and in the future.
Oh, interesting. So do you also say that punks are more kind of this builder type people, whereas apes are more this kind of culture Web3 outgoing type people?
I think for right now, uh, we have more independent ape punks than apes. Apes is more like they vibe a lot from yoga and focus about the more 3D metaverse and gaming. But punk is more like just ownership of your PvP, your identity. So for me, I think like I don't want. I think generally in the end, I don't want like my PvP have too much related to yoga. I just want a independent PvP, like make it simple. And I like pirate, just make a pirate punk. And for me, and more independent is very important for me. Like even I can own
Mm.
a ape with independent. I can not going to care much about the yoga. But in the end, if you're in ape community, like you will have a lot of like connection with the apes, and you will focus more about the ape utility in yoga system and the gaming. And I think like no way you can get rid of it as long as like you still use ape as your PvP.
Yeah. So, like we all have a story that got us into NFTs and then kind of like a community that we started with and is like closest to our hearts. I mean, so for me, it's punks. For Valko, it's punks. And for you, I guess you start with the apes, correct? And then
Yeah.
my question is, will you always be an ape at heart, or do you feel like okay, now you're moving to your forever punk, and then you'll just kind of be more part of the punks community?
Actually, like when I start come to PvP, it's a bull market, right? I bought my first ape before the airdrop of the Siren, which is mutant ape before, and I at that time you got didn't bought the punk, and if you own a punk, you have no true ownership because you have no commercial right. And I was thinking like if I as a Web3 guys, I want the full ownership. I don't want like my POP have I don't have full control of my POP. If I have no commercial right, I think it doesn't make any sense. So that's why I go to Yuga and buy the ape. And after Yuga bought the CryptoPunk and gave the commercial right back, and maybe like I think it's one year and a half more, like right? I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's 1 year and a half.
Yeah, roughly that.
Yes, it's 1 year and a half. And I figured out like with the full commercial rights, Punk may be is the best choice because like you have full ownership, you're not going to centralize running, operating, or marketing. It's only like art and culture and like community, and you have full ownership. And that's more like I said, more independent punks than independent ape. People like they care more about the yoga than than themselves or than the community themselves. They're just not going to build a lot. But I think right now, mid-worst of the RDs don't have SDK right now. So actually, there's not much you can do as a builder. But in Punk, you can do nothing like with your POP. Like so, actually, you are independent and you can. There's a lot of programmer and builder in Punk, like the full bar, like 6529, I think, right? And a lot of famous punks. Yeah, we all are independent.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like early kind of tech people that are, of course, some of them programmers. So yeah, that makes sense. I mean, before we kind of like dive into your background, just a question: where did the name Pirate come from? Like what's the background of that?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
I got you.
Yeah, actually, I like the pilot so much. Like generally, I read a lot of books, and when I come to crypto, I think pirate culture is so close to the punk. Like the punk start like crypto started the punk group of the Satoshi, right? They start Bitcoin, and that's our industry began. The punk is more like anti-government and do like crazy things like people like not going to understand, and like pilot always like not going to taxi the government and go to limit the government size and just do something out of boundary. It's more like what I share with the Apple Think Different. So you can see like in my banner, I share the famous Web3 things like fuck around and find out. So actually for me, fuck around and find out and Pirate and like Think Different from Apple, they both the same, which means like you do invocation and push a button forward and going to limit the size of garment, do like something like anti-garment.
Sorry, I fat fingered the button. I muted you, Pirate.
It's okay, it's okay. So I mean like both of those things seems like it's the same, are the same. So yeah, I love Pirate so much.
So what you're saying is you're gonna steal all the collateral and bend?
Now, like I like the things like my name going to scare people. It's more like when I come to like Ethereum, I think why they name this blockchain Ethereum? Ethereum is a proven wrong assumption in physical, right? so actually I keep saying like don't trust like verify. I'm not going to judge the cover, judge the book by cover.
Yeah.
Not going-
No, I think it's so cool. I kind of agree there's this beautiful overlap with
yeah,
pirate culture and what's happening here
yeah,
in crypto. You know, there's the famous saying like no loyalty among thieves, and pirates kind of just like take what they want, and what they take is theirs, and that's it. But like you said, you can kind of establish the trust by you know implementing trustless systems and abiding by the don't trust verify kind of ethos. So like crypto is like a beautiful tool to make pirates play friendly.
Yeah, I would like to show people like not like on dogs people or like pirate going to steal your money. Actually, some people like SBF like going to steal your money. They are dogs. They have like it's very beautiful like social media described like very good people like MIT and blah 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 blah. But in the end, those people are like steal your money. But as a pirate, I'm going to run co-founder the biggest MT lending protocol. I'm not going to steal any of your money. I'm going to build trust from like people in crypto. Like Satoshi, he starts, but he didn't do anything bad. He did the best things for our industry. So I think like this like a narrative is very good for me. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you went back in time and gave pirates blockchain technology, I think they would place an incredibly high value on it because they knew the problems with trusting each other. I think a lot better than, most people today understand the problem of trusting strangers on the internet. We put so much trust in all these Web2 platforms, and for the most part, you're fine until you're not. But I think the pirates, man, they would really be like, "Wow, this is pretty great. You're telling me I can send money across the world, across the ocean, in an instant without a middleman?" They'd be like, That's powerful. I don't have to like have 10% of my men die in order to do that."
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, maybe a stupid question, but if you were, is it technically like possible that you would rug the whole Ben DAO collateral, or it's like so permissionless that like just you couldn't do it by yourself, or how are the keys distributed?
Actually, we have multi-signature, like 3 or 5, and if Bendel team need to go into lock the pool, we need to upgrade code. Right now, there's no way we can touch user assets, and we still always have 7 days time lock, which means like if any people think like this upgrade code is not going to save, they have 7 days to retrieve the money back or withdraw the Ethereum in the pool, and not going to like say every different protocol like time lock for like 7 days is the best practice for users. User will have can make anything like any people like deposit a lot of Ethereum in the pool. They can have a monitor detecting the code upgrade. If the code upgraded is dangerous, they can pull the money out. That's how DeFi works. And right now we are
Nice.
yeah we are not going well right now we don't have the on-chain governance. We just like have off-chain governance. Every upgrade or everything like we need auditing, and from a snapshot people work, yes, we are going to develop a new future. In the future we will do something like the same with RV, like we will make it on-chain governance, like every single upgrade of code need to do on-chain vote, like make it more decentralized. But right now we don't have the power to do that, like do something like that.
And was it like that from day one, with the multi-signature and the 7-day lock period, or you eventually got to that level somehow?
Not from day one. At beginning, some of our smart contracts have 1 day or 3 days time lock, and I asked the dev team like we need every single like time lock to 7 days to make people have enough time to pull the money out. So, but smart signature is from day one, because like not going to use a EOA address to do that. It's crazy.
Pirate, can you talk a little bit about kind of how you view something like Snapshot versus Tally from like on-chain votes versus signature-based votes where you upload the data kind of after the fact, and how you guys might implement one versus the other in your system?
So right now we have all the changes like matters 7 days time lock, like how much money you can borrow from one collection. 50% or 60% for a pound. Like this time lock is very important. Like some of our competitors, like Paraspace, they only have 5 minutes times that, which means like if next 5 minutes they change the data from like 60% of money you can borrow to like 10% of money you can borrow, there's no way you can run out. Like every people will be liquidated because that they change this parameter, everybody borrow too much money. So it's kind of dangerous. So I think like for important parameters, both like upgrade code or change like parameter like LTV or like listing a new MT. Like if you listing a new MT like in 5 minutes, there's no way like people can pull the money out. You can lock pull so easily. So actually, I think 7 days timeline is quite common practical. Actually, I told them so many times, but they ignore me. They're doing something crazy. So you know, like we have a snapshot voting before, like improvement the LTV of Azuki from 30% to 50%, like which means you can borrow 30% of the full price money to 50%. And we have like our government's process have 3 steps. The first step is like in idea of the Discord channel. If you have 10 check, you can go to post a post in forum, and if you have 10 voting up in the forum post, then we go to snapshot, and we need like 20% of the VE band holder, and 80% of people saying yes. Then we have not upgrade, or then we have not like update parameters. But after this proposal, we maybe need 3 weeks to finish that. And once we finish that, we're going to upgrade the parameter from 30% to 50%. And our competitors, Paraspace, they doing things like centralized. After they see this voting passed, they just change the parameter in 5 minutes. They don't need to wait like 7 days, and they're going to ask, hey, Azuki is like UC Bendao, like change the parameters. Like they have community saying yes for this. Now you can borrow more money in our protocol. You don't need to wait 7 days. So I see like, what is crazy? Like 7 days is for not people going to lock pool. Like it's more like doing high stand and doing like safe driving in highway. It's more like doing basic protocol in defined protocol. So yeah, that's my thought. Like you need to do like in defined protocol, like it's more like driving. If you are going to run a safe protocol, there's basic practice like you need to do. But some protocol like they don't do things like naturally. Like you can see so many bad things happen, like be hacked and upgrade code without auditing. And right now they are locked bank wrong because like they're going to use like users found in EOA address to not going to return the money back. Now so many drama there. So yeah, that's my point. Like people need to learn what is defined protocol. Need to learn if the protocol like project lead, project team development, they doing the best practice for define, or like they're doing things crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean it's so hard, I think, for the regular person to even begin to form an opinion on that sort of thing. But hopefully, as we have more people kind of showing best practices and leading by example, then people will start to understand like what kind of a templated solution might look like for truly decentralized governance of things. But we've just got such a long way to go.
Yeah,
People are still struggling just to understand like private keys. So like getting people to understand decentralized decision making and governance, I think, is tough. But
yeah.
it's cool. I think there are some good groups leading the way. Like I'm a big fan of Nouns DAO. I think what they're doing is pretty awesome. I like how they have the on-chain voting as opposed to snapshot-based voting.
Yeah,
I think, on-chain voting, aside from just being more robust, especially when it comes to actually executing the movement of funds,
Yeah.
It's also composable, you know, like you've seen the emergence of this like voting power type stuff, where it's not just how many tokens you hold, but you get some extra weight or bonus based on your participation, for example, in previous votes. And when the votes are on chain, you can start to have more composable things like, well, how many votes have you done? And we're going to, based on that, give you a 1.1x multiple on your holdings. And, you know, it's led to so many other kind of like derivative governance structures on top of just the foundation of how many tokens do you have or not have, which I think is super cool. And with the gas list voting, signature based voting on Snapshot, it's way harder to do that sort of composability.
Yeah, I agree. Like every single important decision, like every single important things, like people need to pay gas for that and on-chain voting. It make the attack more harder. Like you need to a lot of people. Like if you make a thing like off-chain, people get convenient. That's what I thinking about the punks or like P2P. I share with the for a punk. Like I say, like if you make the diamond hand choose their MTs too efficient, like collection offer or like doing things like very convenient. It's the same with the snapshot versus like on-chain voting. If it, like crypto is more like not going to run the game faster or like too convenient or saving a lot of gas. Crypto is more like doing things important on-chain and make it trustable. So actually, if you make the voting like cost a lot of money for the whole community, there's no way people are going to vote for like not important things or like doing things crazy because like they spend the money, they skip in the game. The same with
Right. There's a little bit of a healthy
yeah,
financial barrier or friction so that when people are voting,
yeah,
there's just it's taken a little bit more seriously than
yeah,
just clicking a button on like a Twitter poll or something.
yeah. Like I think like I always say for Diamond Hand and for Forever Peer CryptoPunk marketplace is the most efficient. You think like there are no collection like offer. There's not only like offer one on one. Like if you only have the money for one punk, the only way you can get it for a punk is going to look all the 10k POP, 10k punk, and choose the one you would like to make as your forever punk and bid on that. And if people are going to ignore you, you go to the second one you want to have you as your forever punk. And until you get your forever punk, you are not to sell them like shit, sell them like 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 FT. So actually, I think like we need liquidity, and we think we need to like trader or flippers come to this industry to make it stronger and bigger. But on the other hand, for diamond hand, like I start Bando as for diamond hand. I don't want to sell my ape, but I want some liquidity to do more airdrop things and do more like buy more like you guys blue chips when airdropping. So Bando is beautiful diamond hand. The little diamond hand, they need liquidity. They don't want to sell their identity. They need some money to raise family or something like that. They can use Bando to have the full ownership and have all the airdrop and flash clan, and they can have 48 hours uh liquidation protection. Right now it's 24 hours voted by the community. And I think Punk is more like what I started with Bandao. It's only server for Diamond Hand and only server for those people who really buy in the ownership of his identity instead of going to flip those MT like FT and do more efficient trading and do really more with like the Blur launch the B land, they're doing more like a perpetual, like just use lending to do the perpetual. So perpetual or like uh like Blur doing for MTs, they make it more like FT, not empty. If you make it empty, you build connection with that identity. So actually, I think it's quite different. Basically, for like philosopher, for what I see different is from a lot of people with and with the builders, like they're trying to build like most efficiently marketed, like build the perpetual protocol. I think it's quite different.
So, Pirate, I'd be curious, what's your take on some of this stuff happening with Blend and these like mortgage-esque loans for NFT? I haven't dug into it much, but I'm sure you've put a lot of thinking into it. Are you pretty excited about it? Do you think it's a little weird, or do you
Yeah,
have
that was
any?
my next question, Valko. It's crazy. We like think in the same terms.
I know it's the question of the day, I think. But yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on what's happening over there.
So actually, for my personal, I'm not big fan with the BLAN. As I told you before, I'm a more diamond hand, and I buy in true ownership, and I buy in identity, and I buy in like social connection in crypto. That's why I come to MT space after the MT5, after the ERC20 DeFi. And I think MT is more interesting. Like you people here, not only money. Money you only have one dimension, like only price. But for MT, you have like social connection and diversity value. Like what I told you, I value pirate a lot. Like I can buy a pirate punk or pirate ape. So actually, it's different culture. But Blur come here, like the founder is more like traditional financial people. He looks like liquidity or like social efficiency is better than more than the identity like perspective. So actually, they are going to make it more efficiency from their point of view to make a perpetual protocol by landing. But I think they they better naming that not Blur Blend. It's more like make a Blur perpetual protocol, and it's just implemented by landing. And I think they are quite aggressive marketing guys, and you see like Blur make airdrop so success, but a lot of people lost money, like Franklin and Marcin, they lost a lot of money in like farming Blur token, and they do model like different from Bandao with grow is organic. They going to list a lot of centralized exchange to provide liquidity for Blur, because the Blur token liquidity is very important because people are going to farm Blur token, and they use that, which means it's only governance token, to incentive like liquidity provider to do both before we say like exchange the liquidity provider, or right now the bird like BLAN users. So actually, when they launch the BLAN and they have the AK landing of ETH, they come to marketing say like, "Hi, I was the number one landing protocol in this NFT industry," and I say like. I post a trader say like this is false because like Banda have a setting KE so the blending, and they no response from like Bird. And I keep asking like Bird when we'll have the open API for like something same with the OpenSea, because like in Banda we need Oracle price. We much depends on the Oracle. So but like half year passed, they didn't respond this at all. So I think I'm not big fan with what Bird is doing, but I see what their values like they have. I told people before, like a success project both need like liquidity, like the traders, like gambling from like one perspective, and people and from another perspective, people need PLP need like diamond hands, like you and me, and we have our forever PLPs, and we have connection, engagement, like community. So I think Blur is quite interesting, and they launch a lot of invocation protocols to build things for those traders. But I'm not I'm not a trader. I'm bad at trading. But I think for all of the crypto space, I bought my first Bitcoin at 2013, and I joined full time uh, 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 in 2017. Every single success project, I see Diamond Hand is the most important thing. No matter FT or NFT. Like in Bitcoin early days, we only care about the coin destroyed, and the coin destroyed on chain, right? Like which means like how many days these people hold this Bitcoin without moving it. The same with the NFT, like trading value maybe not important. Like in Punk, not sometimes like I think in bear market, not many people going to trade a lot of punks, but diamond hand is so important. If you lose the diamond hand, means like you have no utility at all for PFP, which means like no matter how many liquidity you have and how many traders trading your shit MT, if you have no diamond hand, no engagement, no community, this project is going to zero in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you and I agree with you on that. And it does feel like punks would be the collection with the most diamond-handed people, probably by a long shot. And they've existed for the longest time as well. So I was just curious, like, you've got a punk like a week ago or something, but how long have you been eyeing to buy one? Has it been like a couple of months or maybe a year? Like, how long did you want to buy this punk?
I think I start to think about it because I'm struggling. Like I have a lot of ape friends in in last year, 1 year and a half, and I keep thinking like, should I keep this ape or should I going to should I going to switch to punk? And this feeling going to stronger and stronger in the last maybe 3 months because I see like apes is going to do more like GameFi and people holding apes. They are not going to build or like not many programmer there. They're just sitting there like say never fade yoga and always waiting for the yoga team centralized doing things and bring them more money. And that way I think like something need to be done for me. Like I actually am more builder, not going to just hold the MTs waiting for money airdrop from like a centralized team. So I think maybe
Yeah,
3 months. Maybe 3 months. Then finally
okay.
yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. And then at some point, like FOMO kicks in, and I guess you were using my website a bit, so that's cool. And so
Yeah.
actually, like one name comes to mind who is also an ape, but he's very much a developer. He was actually the guy who audited the Forever Punks contract. I mean, he's very famous. OX Quit. I'm sure you know him, right?
Yeah, I know him.
And he's probably the only ape that comes to mind who is like this true hardcore developer and like a true doer. I mean, we had a couple of calls with him, and he very much had, I guess, the punk vibe. But I actually don't know if he has a punk or not. Maybe he even has a punk.
I think before he used ape as a PvP, he used the punk.
Yeah, maybe. But the problem is once your personal brand is so big, it becomes so hard to change it. Like so hard to like tell your follower base, okay, now I'm this other person. It's basically like a plastic surgery. I don't know. Like I don't know. You change your face in real life. Like how would that look? So I don't know. I mean, if Valko rocks up tomorrow with another PFP, I'm like, what's going on, Valko? Right?
Yeah, I think people would think I got hacked or something.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
And but just a quick thing on my side that I'm thinking of separating my personal account from the platform account, and it's just going to be a small name change, but I'll be like, posting in advance that this is going to happen, blah blah blah, just to make sure that people know that it's not a hack. So
Yeah, I agree. Maybe official account and personal account be separated would be better.
Pirate,
yeah.
what was your PFP before? I can't even remember. Was it the cheetah ape?
You can check my banner. You claim my
Yeah, I love
Oh,
your
yeah.
banner, by the way. I checked your banner just now and it's super cool. Like it kind of like combines your two main PFPs, you know, this Punk and the Ape. So I really like what you did there.
Yeah, the apple think different. Let's fuck around and find out. And the ape and the pirate. Awesome.
Pirate, where would you put your project on the fuck around find out coordinates?
I didn't. I even removed the Bendel from my like bios. Like people going to see my opinion. Like they only say, yeah, you're the co-founder of the Bendel. You saying like doing define not in the best practice way just because like you have competitor with Couchbase or like blah 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 blah. I say shit. I don't need like this like label anymore. I just want to be independent Web3 people and going to share my opinion as a like Web3 guy. So actually I remove that. And you can't even know I'm a co-founder of Bendel for now.
Oh, interesting, interesting. Listen, I am actually on Benda website now, and I'm like scrolling through. And so I have a question. So suppose I have ETH, right? Just ETH lying around, and I see this option, deposit ETH for APR, and it says 7%, 7.42, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like many ETH people know that if you like stake your ETH, you get 4%, 5%, you know, staking like rewards with, let's say, Lido and stuff like that. Can you like walk us through what happens here if I deposit my ETH into BendDAO? Like, how do I get that 7%? And you know, is that something I should think about doing?
Before he answers that, my punk is better and use Perispace. No, I love Bendel. I'm joking, Pirate. I love you, man.
Yeah, okay. Like
There you go, a life hack.
so yeah, actually he's a big fan of Bendel, like because we are so transparent and so crypto native. Then if you deposit ETH into Bendel protocol, you can withdraw anytime as long as there's some money in the pool. Like right now we have like 30K or 40K ETH in the pool. I didn't check the data like so much. But you have to take different risk because like in Lido, right now you can withdraw anytime, right? Because you just create the because Lido can create the validator anytime they like. So actually your money have no risk of not going to take back your money. But in Bendel, it's quite different. If Bendel doing things like bad and we're going to make bank run, like what a Perispace is happening now. No people going to deposit ETH into the protocol and all the money is borrowed already. You can't get your Ethereum back instantly. So actually, but at that time you will have like 100 or 200% per year of interest. So actually, you got higher APY from the Lido, but you got more risk from Lido. Yeah, and another thing. So actually, you have 3 risk rather than Lido. The first thing is Bendel rug pool risk. You need to focus on Bendel's upgrade. 7 days, we are not going to launch dangerous code to lock your money. The second thing is all the assets should be like blue chips, not going to have bad debit. People are going to withdraw money and make you can't withdraw money. And the third thing is like not going to something bad like black swan happened and all the money going to withdraw and no people deposit the money into the protocol and you can't withdraw your money. Those 3 risks is how you get higher APY than Lido. Yeah, I'm done talking.
Interesting. We have a question. Welcome on stage. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. Look, I love Bendel. Pirate knows that. I just wanted to mess with him and say use Perispace and not Bendel. Perispace right now, what they're doing, people being able to put in money and not being able to take it out, it is literally the definition of a honeypot. Like, I don't understand how this has not been shut down by the Fed. Like, especially when it comes on, you know, the tail end of them getting compromised. Luckily, like the white hats over at Blocksec dev team, like they saw it happen. They ran through a gassed up transaction before the hacker could, you know, run another transaction through. just everything they're doing is just so wrong and like on so many different levels. And like Pirate was saying, it's not decentralized. Like what they're doing is on the basis of centralization. Like,
Can you maybe like take a step back and clarify for us? So Paraspace, because I see that all over my timeline today. I didn't have time to look into it. So they have a shit ton of apes, and then what happened? Can you just like tell the whole story there?
so there was an exploit in their contract that a hacker tried to exploit, uh, but he miscalculated the gas that needed to be used for the transaction. So Blocksec team, they actually saw it happen on chain. They did the same exploit and then they just gassed up the transaction to push it through as quick as possible, like to get priority, before the hacker could actually try it again. So they actually stole the money as white hat hackers, and then that's when you saw them tagging like Paraspace on Twitter, saying your DMs aren't open, you're not responding, like we have your money. We saw a hacker try to do it, and we did it, before they could try again. And like then the on-chain messages that the hacker was sending to Blocksec team, like, hey, could you give me some of that? Ha, 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 I just miscalculated gas. Like that shit was hysterical, but they're just not secure. Like they go about saying, oh, we've been audited and we've been audited by, this person and this person.
So Paraspace is who or what exactly? Like,
Paraspace is a lending protocol, except
similar to
yeah, well, not like Bandao. They're not set up correctly. Now they're ape staking. Their ape staking is okay with like the way it auto compounds interest and stuff, but again, when you go to pull money out, like it's not set up like Bandao. And like Pirate was saying, the money is not there. Like they're literally doing what banks do. And as soon as you put money into the protocol, they're taking it, they're investing with it, they're doing whatever they want with it.
Wow, okay. And this can be seen on chain,
Yeah.
or,
Oh, yeah.
or it's kind of
Yeah.
like opposite?
Anything with crypto can be seen on chain. You just have to know where to look. But yeah, it's all there for anyone to
I
see.
mean, yeah, but it was not like FTX style that you didn't have insight into their database or backend.
Oh, well, FTX
it's
was
on
a
chain.
private bank account. Are we talking about private
Yeah,
bank accounts now?
And do you think this is partially the reason why the apes are dumping today, or
Yeah,
not?
I think so. Because a lot of apes, they can't withdraw the money out because I think Paraspace is not only like they are not good driver, they're actually the evil driver. After they be hacked, they don't know how many like apes are going to leave their like platform, because if you make the platform or if you make the protocol permissionless, if people want to from Paraspace to Bandao, they have the choice to use Aave flash loan, like which means in one transaction you can borrow money from the Aave and use that money to repay the debt in Paraspace and get your MT out and going to use that MT in Bandao's protocol to borrow money and repay that money to Aave. So actually, in one transaction, use the Aave flash loan, you can immigrate from Paraspace to Bandao. But after they've been hacked, they say like we are going to protect our users, which means like exactly they are protecting their own protocol, but not going to let people go out without paying the money. And they make every withdrawal of the assets one block delay at least, which means like a user can't use flash loan to go from them to Bandao. Actually, right now happening is like they got bank loan, they have like 100% of the interest every year. People are suffering there, but people have no choice because they can't use flash loan, use the composability on chain to go to Bandao, and they need to repay the money first, which means like they need to sell their other bags from Yuga or other mutant or the apes to repay the money in Paraspace and withdraw the asset out, which means like a lot of sell pressure in our market. You can see that it's happening. So actually, I keep telling people this protocol is dangerous. They're doing things shit. They ignore the permissionless. They ignore the best practice in DeFi. They're doing so selfish. I keep saying like it's not the right thing to do like that. It's not competitors like JPEG and MD5 and Point. I think a lot of MD5 landing protocol over there. I never say something bad for them. But Paraspace they're doing things not the right way. I keep pointing out.
Mhm. And what's your opinion on I know it's slightly different, but NFTFi, right? Because they announced fairly recently their token or something like that. And I know the founder, what's his name, Steven, and he's a nice guy, and I've spoken to him. But well, what's your kind of take on NFTFi?
Yeah, I think MD5 is cool. Like you can provide the lending at the same time people can like do ape staking. And I think Paraspace is doing well for ape staking because it make the auto compound no gas list. I think that's why many apes choose their protocol, not only by lending, because lending BendDAO doing better for them, and they just make ape staking so good. And BendDAO is going to launch ape staking V2, but I think a lot of apes they focus about the airdrop from it. They keep saying like, we are going to have a big fundraise. We're going to airdrop your token like Blur, and if
Mhm.
you're going to use
Yeah.
our protocol, you will have a big money. But I think more like honeypot. See what's happening right here. I keep saying like, don't be greedy. Don't trust verify. To verify the security, how they run the protocol, the time locks, and how they doing the auditing. Like they're doing auditing, not like the real auditing. They're doing more like a marketing. They say like even the 0x Quate is one of their auditors. They say we have 9 auditors, which means if you are doing real serious auditing, there's no way you're going to cooperate with 19 to update every single code upgrade for your protocol. Like in BendDAO, we have only one, like which is Verilog, but we do auditing so serious. We have a lot of meeting in term review code, and we have every single line of code we auditing with our like auditor. But if you have 9 auditors, how can you like every single project, every single upgrade, you're going to line by line code to with those 9 auditors? It's unbelievable. So what they are doing is just make auditor like marketing. And
Yeah, it's very marketing. Yeah.
you can see like they only provide 20K of critical bug for like in Immutify, which means if I'm a white hat, I find a very critical bug which can lock pull your protocol, I can only get 20K money. In BendDAO, we have $1 million for that. As every single series protocol we're doing bug bounty, like not going to make it just like a joke, like 20K. So actually, I think like they doing a lot of marketing and doing they buy a lot of reputation from a community. They buy a lot of like social media, but a lot of people don't have the ability to verify. That's what I keep saying. We need more education for this industry. Otherwise, it will be tragedy again and again.
We have a question.
Well, actually, a statement. I do have to roll out to get to a scheduled space, but I did want to say, like, look, I swear by OX Quit, he's one of the best auditors in the space. He does better audits than Certic does, and he doesn't do the shady shit that they do. So, like, all the love in the world towards OX Quit. What Paraspace did, and you can look on chain and see when changes are made. They got audits done, and then after that, they made changes and didn't get more audits done. They were setting themselves up for failure from the get-go. That's all I'll say about that. Pirate, I love you, man. My brother, family,
Brother,
everybody else.
because like from your ENS, it's not obvious to guess.
Sorry, blockchain ninja.
It's
All right.
it's how
Yeah, I've seen you around on Twitter, but like it's nice to meet you in, I guess not in person, but like chat a bit. And yeah, also love your punk, man. It's so cool. Like I see you're into security and stuff, but that punk is just spot on, man.
I appreciate it. So actually, fun story. There was a punk that got compromised, Metakid. He lost 24 V2s, and then I told him, like, I reached out to him, I found him, I watched it happen on chain. I reached out to him. I found his Twitter attached to one of his accounts. So I reached out to him on Twitter. I had been working with him for about a week, and I said, "Look, man, you're going to be a target. Just brace yourself because people are going to try to socially engineer you."
Wow.
It ended up happening. He lost 4 more V2s and a V1, thinking he was going to get some of his originals back. So I had been working with him for about a month and a half. I had set up a system through BendDAO where he was making roughly 1.8 ETH a day, just off of his assets sitting in there safely. All the money was in the protocol itself. The assets were in the protocol. So like, even if the floor dropped out from under him, all he would have to do was liquidate the LP position, pay back the punks, and he was good to go. So as a thank you, he actually sent me this punk. So I got
You're
a punk for
kidding.
free.
And amazing. When did this happen? Like, was it like, it was not this year. It must have been like a bit back, no?
No, this was this year, like 3 months ago,
Who,
2.5.
who was the guy? I mean, I know a lot of punks. Who was it?
Medikid.
Mecha Kid. Yeah. That rings a bell. Rings a bell. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I've helped a ton of punks though. Like when Crypto Novo got compromised, like
Wow,
I
yeah.
immediately got a hold of him and like had him in messages with Dan Finley, who's one of the co-founders of MetaMask, and we were going through the wallet logs. He sent us like the CSV file and stuff. So
Okay.
like I help everyone I can.
Man, amazing. I mean, I know you have to bounce, but maybe come back on a space one of these days and you can tell us some of these stories and anecdotes. I think that would be really cool to listen to.
Yeah, that's an amazing entry story, and we'd love to hear more about some of your postmortem horror stories. That's always valuable bits for people to learn from. Learn from other people's mistakes, right?
Roger that. Yeah. Just shoot me a message on this account. I'll be more than happy to come on. Again, Pirate, I love you. Forever Punks, it was definitely nice getting to actually speak to you. Yeah, shoot me a message. I'll be back anytime, but I do got to run. Gemscope's scheduled a space for the company account. So
Oh,
Good. See you later.
so yeah, Pirate, maybe a question to you then, off the back of this little chat here. Let's say I have a punk, which I do. How can I earn, passive income of that punk, right? Is there a way in BendDAO?
Actually, I think like you can see Ben token is incentive for all our like users. Like we have 5 years incentive program for all users. You actually, if every single day we have linear released token for our users, and 1 or 4 goes to the Ethereum provider, and 3 or 4 go to the borrowers. Actually, if you use your MT to borrow money from BendDAO, and you were incentivized by the Ben token, but you pay the interest. But sometimes when like people bullish on Amplify and BendDAO is the #1 lending protocol, they pump the Ben token so much, which means like your Ben token make you earn money by borrowing money. Actually, you see like in 2019, the DeFi summer, you can earn money by borrow money. Like sometimes it happens.
So what you're saying is that I would have to borrow ETH against my punk
Yeah,
and put that ETH into deposit, right?
yeah, and you got the both incentive from lender and borrower, but it's
But I don't fully understand, because to borrow ETH, I'm just seeing here roughly it's like 14% APR, whereas if I take that ETH and I like deposit it back, it's just 7%. Like, where do I make the money there?
no, right now you can make money, but if the Ben token go, because like you see APY is constant is combined with the Ethereum interest and the Ben token incentive, right?
The Ben.
But sometimes Ben token pump so hard, like you got like maybe sometimes
But that
yeah
speculation, like
yes
involves
yes
Yeah.
I remember sometimes you got like 15% of the APY or 20% of the APY per year by borrowing money with like the positive income, like because like you pay 25 interest of the ETH, but you got 50% of APY reward by Ben token.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, maybe just though, I mean, one more question from my side. I don't know, Valko will be wrapping up soon as well, but Blur, they rolled out, this buy now, pay later feature, which I found actually pretty cool, and I'm looking into it a bit more. Is that something you guys also were looking into do it, or that's very far away from what you guys are thinking of, or what do you think?
You mean buy now pay later is their BLAN protocol, right?
Yeah, the Blur lending, right? So if I want to buy a punk, I can just buy it with 10 ETH, and then someone gives me the 40 ETH, and then that 40 ETH is like, the borrowed money.
Yeah, but they're designed like very like not borrower, because like you can in Bandao, if you use down payment like 40% of the full price to buy a punk, there's no way we can like make you lost the MT as long as you're not going being liquidated. Like if your full price is not going to drop a lot, you're not going to liquidate it by Bandao. But in Blur, in BLAN, it's quite different, because you every single time you need to choose another lender. Otherwise, your
Yeah,
your
it's
punk.
peer to peer, whereas you guys are peer to pool,
Yeah,
correct?
we make you diamond hand,
Okay.
but they can't make if you can't find another
Yeah,
Eastern
okay.
provider. So actually, you can't be a diamond hand if you can't find another one. So
Yeah, no, it's super interesting because over the past 2 weeks, I have gotten quite deep into this lending kind of stuff, and I'm starting to, like see the nuances, and who knows, one day maybe
yeah, I know.
I will.
Congratulations.
No, it's very good. I mean, you are like deep in the weeds for the past, I don't know, 1 or 2 years, but it's a fun space for sure.
It's a good question. I often think about how I can leverage all the capital I have tied up in punks to generate some yield, but I'm just so risk averse when it comes to losing my punks. Like, there's so much more than just a bag of capital to me. They're obviously Valko's like my primary identity, but my other ones are like, family members basically. I could never lose them. So it's this like it's this really hard reality of like basically any strategy you might want to employ to generate yield on your punks and use them as collateral comes with some degree of risk. And for me, the decision is always, I'm basically comfortable with zero risk on that front, but the temptation is always there, because it is a big bag of money.
Yeah,
No, for sure. I mean,
you need to take risk when you want to get like positive income. So actually, you need to verify the risk, the security of the
Oh,
protocol.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are always preaching about diversify your investments. And, you know, nobody ever got rich by diversifying their money. Like if you want to make a lot of money, you have to take kind of big concentrated bets. And that could be bets with your time, it could be bets with your resources, it could be bets with your capital. Like there's a lot of different ways, but anybody who ever kind of made generational wealth one way or another made a big bet and pretty much put a majority of their eggs in one basket, So diversification is kind of how you preserve your wealth and grow steadily and slowly over time. But if you want to make like a big jump from one quartile of wealth to another, like diversification is just not the way.
yeah, amazing. Actually, we should clip that, Balco. That's a really cool little sentence right there.
Yeah, man. Nobody got rich by diversifying. That's for sure.
Yeah, diversity is for saving, whereas not going to like making money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pirate, have you joined the CryptoPunks Telegram and Discord and everything?
Telegram is it's okay. Discord, because like I use the wallet. I need to update the wallet address to get the verified. So I joined the Telegram already. Discord not right now.
Nice. Well, we look forward to having you in there. And then Punks Club is a pretty cool website. Our friend, another builder in the space, Wojtek, and his co-founder Wiz, they made that website. Just token gated forum for punk projects. There's a map showing what punks live in what cities. You can like check in and check out based on your travels. And then that website has a bot that's in the Telegram chat, so you can always see like, oh, like Forever Punk is coming to the States during these dates, or so and so is throwing an event, and the details of the event are behind the token gate, so nobody shows up and like jumps all the punks and steals them pirate style. So it's pretty cool.
Wow, wow, wow. I will check it. I will check it later. Cool, cool. So like that's why I
They also have it. They also have Ape Club. Sorry, Valko. They also have the same for apes as well, I think.
wow, cool, cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Like so many builders in apes and punks. So proud of you guys. Like builders are the real Web3 builders. Like
Yeah, well, we're so lucky to have you in the community. It was brand new news to me to hear that you had recently got the punk. I somehow missed it on my timeline. I've been so busy this week. But I was super excited to hear that you got one. It's really an honor to have such an iconic builder now join the ranks of punks. It really kind of legitimizes the collection even more.
Yep.
One great builder at a time. I love it.
thank you, thank you.
Eventually, Elon will join, guys. Mark my
Oh
word.
my gosh. Well, he seems to be a Milady Maxi from
The
now on.
melody actually. I don't think he know what is melody. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Not yet. Eventually. Imagine imagine he buys the pipe smoking alien. You know, the one sitting at 6K ETH now for sale. Like, if that happens and he tweets, I mean, the floor goes, I don't know, fucking 300 ETH. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm genuinely curious, like, what his team for Twitter looks like, because I can't imagine somebody like him is doing all the work on Twitter. I mean, it seems like he does
Do you think
man the ropes,
He's
but
doing shit posting, man.
I feel like he must have a team to help him come up with the shit posts.
Yeah, nah, I wouldn't be that sure of that. You know, like, I don't know.
Well,
Maybe he does.
we may never know, but it'd be fun to know kind of the content creation process he goes through, or if it's quite literally entirely him, unfiltered and improvised. Because if there is a team of young guys paid like six figures to run that account, then one of them had incredible alpha on the Milady post.
I don't think so.
What
I don't think so.
do you mean specifically? Like, I didn't follow Miladies that much. Like, what's the alpha on Miladies? Like,
I mean, it's just been a new project, right? And,
Yeah.
like Elon tweeted it. That's
maybe
kind of
it's-
it.
I think it's more related to
that-
Pepper. Like Pepper coin, meme coin is so hot recently. And you can see a lot of on-chain data shows like Melody community is it's so connection to Pepper. They earn a lot of money from Pepper and they buy a lot of Melody.
Yeah. I mean, I think like Zusu had like a Milady as well. So I think there's some other prominent guys who like Miladies. I don't quite get it, but the meme has been strong. I've just kind of felt the culture around the Miladies was strong over the last 2 weeks, and then now Elon's posted it, which like, I mean, I don't know. Gas was crazy right after he did that post. I mean, it was like 300 plus Gwei.
Yeah, but I'm not big fan of the like centralized people. Like even like Elon, like Yuga, both of those, like I don't like them. Just make it decentralized, every single builder and a community together, bottom up, organic. I like that. So actually, I think auto melody is not so good. Every single melody, I can't identify anyone. It's all looks blur for me. Like it's
Yeah,
gray,
it's hard.
gray.
There's not like strong, distinct attributes
Yeah.
or anything like with the punks.
Yeah. I think punk they
Yeah.
good at it's easy to identify people.
There is one punk that looks just like 6529, but the mouth is like slightly different. And I think I saw that he was speaking at permissionless, and I got so confused because I was like, oh my god, he's
Santiago.
like I was like 6529 has finally like revealed his identity. Like, what the hell? And then I looked at it more closely, and I was like, oh, one of these has a frown and one of these doesn't.
Yeah. But that guy's a very famous punk, actually. Santiago is a great
for sure.
investor. The 100K followers. Yeah. He's also running a show, a podcast called Empire. It's one of my favorite podcasts, so I can definitely recommend you listen to that kind of stuff as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. You recommended that one the other day. I got to give that a listen on my daily walks here. But look, guys, it's been fun. I've got a dash. But Pirate, thanks so much for joining. Um, we welcome you with open arms to the punk community. Again, it's such an honor to have you, and hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Cool. Thank you for having me here.
Yes, same from my side. A warm welcome. Like each community has their significant members, and having you part of the community now is just an honor, and it grows the punk brand. So yeah, welcome.
All right, everybody. Until next time.
Ciao, guys. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Bye.